Shout out Ass Techie in this bitch. Shout out. Yeah. Alright, this is Talkwood podcast with your boy Deshino Bento and
Mary Jane.
We in here. So today we actually got a real backwood on the podcast. So shout out to my nigga back.
Everybody, I'm in this motherfucker. We be smoking. It's been a minute. What they be smoking me?
So today we gonna get onto a topic that was suggested to us by Mary Jane's community. So shout out to you guys for giving us something to talk about. And the topic of the day is alternate universes, parallel universes, and how that kind of tastes you going to sleep in your dream place, being a part of the parallel universe. The multiverse is real.
The multiverse is real.
Not the metaverse.
The multiverse. They just tomato. They call it something, but it's all
tomato.
I'm just a guy from another planet, but this girl is one of your poor people, and I guess you guys felt like it was okay to subject her to inhuman conditions.
You ask me, what if the metaverse is a way that they're softly implementing the fact that they can't control the universe portal that they created? What if the government has allows you to go to alternate universes and transverse freely, but the metaverse is just a condensed version of that?
They're already giving people very much so a free reign of seeing what that really feels like with VR. So yeah, virtual reality is almost exactly what that is, but to the smallest degree. But yeah, the multiverse is real. The dream space is where all the shit.
Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space.
It's like all these movies and stuff we watch, and we got all these famous people like movies like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Wanted, shoot, even movies like Inception and 12, Insidious, shit, even Paranormal Activity. You know, we covet famous people so much, but you honestly only get to see them on the TV. What if, when they're shooting the movie, they're no longer in this universe? When Will Smith does weight training, or like he loses weight or gains weight to do certain roles, like what if when the camera goes on, he's just already in the universe where he looks like that, and now you gotta shoot the scene?
I think people are about to start seeing a lot of more weird things than that they haven't seen before. I can take myself for an example. Like, I would say all this year, I've had a lot of weird dreams that have definitely kind of confirmed that the dream world is a real world too. Like, the other day, I had a dream. This is very simple, but I swear, my boyfriend gave me cookies.
She thought that I gave her cookies.
Yes. I thought that he came in and gave me cookies during my reading, and that shit felt super real. Like, it didn't feel like a dream, like to the point where I really went back in that room to look for the cookies.
But what if we're like on synchronized timelines? Like, what if our alternate universe life and the life that we're currently living isn't that much different from what we're doing right now? Like, right now in our alternate universe, we're smoking, but the only difference is we're not recording the podcast. Like, what if we just have
a mirror.
Slight differences? But you know, some people have like astronomical differences. Like, one person's driving in the next universe, you're like in the middle of a fucking train wreck. But like, what if we're so close to our other universes that sometimes it just be like, oh, well, hey.
What makes it different? Like, what really, like, okay,
the success level.
Way to experience. If that is how you can experience that portal on the first hand, then how do you know which universe you're really still in? Because like the dream, I can only really give examples based on one day I was having a dream, and it was like an apocalypse outside. Like, everybody was running toward the CNN building. We live close to the CNN building. So in the dream, everybody just running, they're protesting, and it just looks fucking crazy. Like, and I'm just standing up looking outside. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Then proceed to wake up, and the same lights that were flashing in the dream were actually flashing in real life. It's like this veil. The dream world shows you everything that's happening. Like, that is It's like you can look outside and be like, okay, this is just a cover.
Like, okay, like how in that universe they were protesting. Like, what if that's what I'm saying? Like, what if the universes are mirror, but it's just slight differences? It's like, okay, what's the difference between these two pictures? It's more proactive.
Because that day, they were protesting at the CNN building, like when I woke up. But, or it was like, if it wasn't that day, it was the next day. But the protesting was very much so more somber than what it was in that dream space.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in that world, it's more, okay, it's more protesting and more inclined.
It was aggressive.
It's not just, okay, we're fighting for sexuality rights and the rights to be called them and they and the queer. We're actually fighting for something we believe in, like fake media and people lying to us and telling us things we don't want to hear. Like, what if that, in that universe, they tell them the truth?
Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie.
That's why it was so chaotic, because whatever they had found out, but it was right upon the time of the Ukraine shit. Like, that was at the beginning of that. So it's like, what if, like, whatever I was seeing there, that's what's really going on, and we're just being shown, like, a mask of things. Like, it's a covering, it's a veil, because that shit was way more chaotic. Like, you would have thought it was a zombie apocalypse.
Like, what if our alternate universes, people living in third world situations where, like, they don't have electricity, where they're still going through a renaissance of some sort. Like, they're still building, like, staying in caves and building huts and stuff. But what is time?
What is
that
time?
would be the question.
Check the time of day. I'm gonna put 12 numbers on it. So the day's gonna be cut into 12 parts. Nah, 24.
What is this? Like, what is this? Like, what is after this? Like that, like the questions that aren't being asked, and what leads you to that alternate universe. People say ascension happens after death, like you go to heaven or hell, but you just wake up. Like, if anybody's watching this that's been in the coma, because I've been in the same situation in such of a coma. So, and you just wake up. Like, how do you know you didn't die? And this is something totally different, and you just feel like you're just going with the regular flow.
What's the difference between death and sleep?
But that's how they say you get to the universe, by dreamscaping, by dream.
Like, people who are in comas, technically they're dead to the world, but their body is still alive. So how do we know when someone isn't in a coma that means that they just haven't left their body and they ain't came back yet?
But then it's like, is there an alternate universe? But whenever you see death, you see life. You see what I'm saying? Like, what if this is the alternate universe, and the only thing alternate about it is the realm of people that you live in?
Because I can say, in the dream world, everybody exists. Dead people, alive people, ghosts, monsters, everything fucking exists. But in here, it's only what we see with the naked eye.
But what if you go somewhere where we're totally like, we aren't even, you don't even exist. Like, there's no place in the world for you just for the fact that you do not exist. A person doesn't live here. A humanoid person doesn't live here. Somebody with genitalia, somebody with lungs, somebody with a spine, somebody with organ, stomach, somebody that eats. Like, you literally can't live here because nobody here lives like you. Like, but just imagine coming to take over somebody's land. Like, when somebody takes somebody over, they destroy everything. The books, everything. The buildings, everything. Like, is that an alternate universe?
They erase history.
They literally erase whatever happened, and they do what they do.
So let's see. So basically, when they erase things, is that creating the alternate universe because you've taken away a bit of what has already been established? So if people don't know about it, they can't adhere to that anymore.
Like, right, what is an alternate universe? Like, what if you do rebirth back here in a different situation? And the alternate universe is the fact that cars are now flying, and when your brain kicked in, that's when you start tuning in, and you continue to think of the time when you were here before.
So can you only experience an alternate universe when you've had an altered state of mind?
But that's what I'm saying. most of the time, people usually stay on the straight path of thought processes and don't venture off until they do drugs or do something. They don't have a sense of life until they do something that messes with your mental. I believe it doesn't mess with your mental. Something that takes you to a state. Yeah, there we go. The psychedelic drug, something that messes with your brain and puts you in a state of psychosis, a state of euphoria.
But it's just like that. Psychedelics are still natural drugs, though. Like they're not any.
It's not like methamphetamines, but them methamphetamines are put in place to recreate those feelings of natural. Drugs are basically fake vegetation, fake plants. If you ask me, a drug is a fake plant because it does everything you tell me something natural would do. But it just does it like this because it's a drug.
It's like, how do you make dealing with multiverses, which I really think most people don't experience it. Some people have, but I feel like a lot of people, their first experience is probably due to taking some form of a psychedelic.
But even acid or shrooms or you do some meth.
All right, quick disclaimer. I do not support the use of methadone, ice, crack, cocaine. Crack and cocaine, those are two different things, but I do not promote the use of anything that goes up the nose or is inserted by a needle.
You get to experience the naturalness of just being off of a shroom. A shroom, because that is probably the most I can talk about.
I've never seen, I really call that a magical plant because that's not something that I ever see every day. That is literally it's almost like it finds.
And I'm like, you know what? I can handle weed in public. What's a little mushroom? It's just it's a vegetable.
You're supposed to have it because everybody's not meant to be able to have access to that information because everybody don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Everybody's going to think, you are probably going to even think you're crazy.
Yeah, you're right about that. But it's a certain stuff, you notice it. You notice what you can and can't say in front of certain people. Like at some point, you just can't say it. You sound crazy when you say it.
Yeah. But off of experience, the things that we have experienced together, alternate universes are real.
Yeah, I mean, I firmly believe in alternate universes. I firmly believe in the aspect of you being able to venture into another world. But my biggest thing be, how was that world created? Isn't an alternate universe? Are you not on the same plot of land that you were already on? It's like, yeah, we can say that, but the alternate universe is still in turn created in the world we live in. So that's just my stand on it. We use dictation from this world that we live in, and we learn from this world. So whatever an alternate universe would be, make sure you creating something totally different so you don't end up in the same cycle as
Yeah, you have more, though. Your altered state is a lot about your mindset, so you kind of could create what the fuck you see. Be mindful of what you think about. That's why especially if you are experiencing that while on some form of psychedelic, make sure your mind is where you need it to be, because you're gonna see some shit that you probably don't want to see.
I guess that would be the quote for that. But that was our take on alternate universes. So appreciate everybody for watching. And this has been the Talkwood podcast with Big Toe.
Society, 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess who's knocking at the door?